Well, not did I think that Joe Flacco was going to be leading an NFL playoff team into the playoffs in the year of our Lord 2024, but it's happening. Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns are headed to the postseason, and today we are going to be going through Joe Flacco's run here in the 2024 NFL playoffs, and it starts this weekend, this Saturday, tomorrow afternoon in Houston, Texas, against CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. Now, originally, this was not the video I was going to push out today. I was going to make a different video where Madden was going to simulate the entire playoffs. However, shout out to EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. This is how long it takes to watch one play on Madden. It's 4th and 1. I was trying to simulate the Dolphins and Chiefs wildcard game. It's supposed to be like negative 10 degrees out there in Kansas City, Missouri this week, but I was trying to sim one play, a 4th and 1. After the 2-minute warning, okay, they bring out Jason Sanders and the kick team, but the Dolphins decide, no, we're going to bring our offense back on the field from the 19-yard line. So Mike McDaniel going aggressive. This is how long it takes to watch one play on Madden 24. One play. I remember a couple years ago I did a video where I literally sat here and watched an entire season's worth of gameplay. I'll link it down in the description down below. It's probably the best video I've ever made. It was simulating the 2002 NFL season. Really good video. It would be impossible now to do that. Like how NBA 2K, you can jump right into the game and watch it. This is literally the only option you have to try to jump into a game and watch one play. This is unedited. 4th and 1, like seriously, the video would have taken 60 hours. That was for one play. And then, okay, if I wanted to watch 1st and 10, I have to sit through that again. So to the surprise of no one, EA Sports Madden 24 is still not a very good video game, but we can try to make the best out of what we have here. And you know, I've just been playing a lot of NCAA football recently, college football revamped, just because, you know, I go back and I switch back and forth and playing Madden and playing college football revamped, and just college football revamped just feels like the better football game. And it's crazy because that was a game that was made now over 10 years ago. That game was made in 2013. I still think it's the best football game that you can possibly play right now, as there's going to be a nice screen pass to Jerome Ford on 3rd and 8 by good old Joe Flacco. But hey, NCAA Football 25 should be coming out this summer, so there's something to look forward to. Gonna have a lot of content on that game when it comes out. Probably gonna be playing that game every single damn day. It might outshine Madden this year for me. But there goes Amari Cooper on a slant route. There's gonna be a touchdown. Don't forget the last time the Cleveland Browns played the Houston Texans. Amari Cooper absolutely exploded. He broke Josh Gordon's record in a single game for receiving yards for the Cleveland Browns franchise history. So, you know, I expect a lot of that out of Amari Cooper tomorrow night. This game's 10-7 though. Houston does have the lead going into the second quarter. Something that has to be limited from Joe Flacco though is definitely going to be the interceptions. I mean, whether it be against, you know, all 4 of the games he's played in the regular season, Flacco has seen, I mean, this has kind of been Flacco's entire career, but it has been, you know, a lot of interceptions out of him. But that's kind of the difference between, you know, the mindset of some of these older quarterbacks, like a guy like Joe Flacco, and some of these younger guys. Is a guy like Flacco does not give a damn if he throws an interception. He's going to come back out in the next drive, and he's going to keep firing. So, again, I think you're going to see some turnovers from Joe Flacco. Obviously, he's not all that elusive, as Cashman right there is going to bring him down and sack him, but luckily, Dustin Hopkins is out here to try to tie this game up. He will not be playing tomorrow. Instead, it will be Riley Patterson kicking for Cleveland. But right there, Dustin Hopkins probably gives his best Riley Patterson impression right there, missing that field goal to not tie the game and keep this game at 7-10. But Joe Flacco is going to find Kareem Hunt on the Texas route, and Hunt is going to take that one all the way to the house. 63 yards for Kareem Hunt. Obviously, it's a split backfield for the Cleveland Browns between Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt, with Nick Chubb obviously being out for the entire season. And it is crazy what the Cleveland Browns have been able to accomplish this season despite all the injuries. And look at Amari Cooper. I mean, you cannot ask for a better run after the catch. Cooper goes 82 yards and takes it all the way to the house. It's going to be 17-10 just like that. Or sorry, 21-10. Of course, we missed that field goal for the Cleveland Browns. Amari Cooper goes for 82 yards, trying to, I guess, break his own record for most receiving yards in the game by a Cleveland Browns receiver. And we have not called his name out yet. Well, there's a guy we haven't called out his name yet. Elijah Moore is actually going to take that one. Oh my goodness, 66 yards all the way to the house on the slant route. Joe Flacco and this Cleveland Browns passing attack has absolutely killed this Houston Texans secondary so far tonight. The difference between the original game between Cleveland and Houston that was played earlier in the regular season is that CJ Stroud was injured for that game. That was, of course, Case Keenum making the start for the Houston Texans. You saw a little bit of Davis Mills in that game, the former Stanford quarterback, but you're going to see a lot of, you're only going to see CJ Stroud, obviously. No Case Keenum, no Davis Mills. Joe Flacco is going to run for 10 yards. However, a guy that we have not seen necessarily just yet is the star tight end for the Cleveland Browns by the name of David Njoku. Njoku has obviously been the #1 target so far for Joe Flacco, as Flacco has come into Cleveland, and there's Kareem Hunt for the rushing touchdown. But don't forget, guys, Joe Flacco is very elite. He's always been elite, and he is still elite as he looks to lead his second team to the Super Bowl. There's a short list of guys who have led multiple teams to the Super Bowl itself, and there's an even shorter list of guys who have won Super Bowls with multiple different teams. That list consists of, my memory serves me right, 2 guys, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Well, the Browns are going to win the wild card game at 45-17 as we move on to the divisional round. And the way I have things predicted, I know again the Chiefs and Dolphins are playing in, the Ice Bowl this Sunday or Saturday on Peacock, whenever they're going to make people buy Peacock to watch that game. No one's going to, but Stream East and Crack Streams are going to be like D-Wade to LeBron on Saturday night or Sunday night. But instead, I think the Dolphins are actually going to get out of that game. We will see. I think the Bills obviously are going to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a snowstorm in West New York for that game. So yeah, again, I think the Bills are going to take that one. I think, again, the Dolphins can beat the Chiefs. The Dolphins would be the 6th seed. They would then travel to M&T Bank Stadium over in Baltimore, Maryland. So it would be Dolphins and Ravens, and it would be Browns and Bills. And Joe Flacco, obviously accustomed to playing in this cold weather. I guess the entire Cleveland Browns squad is, as well as there goes Elijah Moore. Hopefully we can see more, no pun intended, of David Njoku tonight. Obviously Njoku really didn't have much of an impact in the wild card round. I believe we saw, 1 catch out of him? I didn't even show it. And we again saw the presence of having 2 very good running backs in Jerome Ford and in Kareem Hunt as well. So the game plan, cold game, keep the ball on the ground. If the run game is working, keep going to it. There's Jerome Ford. Joe Flacco has kind of been, touted in the past as a game manager, and sure, okay, you can look back at that Ravens team that won the Super Bowl against the 49ers back in the day, and can you say Joe Flacco's a game manager? Sure, but he had a really good season that year. Don't forget the game that the Ravens had in the divisional round where they went to Mile High and they beat Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. And by the way, the week after, going to Foxborough and beating Tom Brady and the Patriots. So Joe Flacco's been there and done that before. He has seen these, older guys like Manning. Again, he's part of that older generation. And when you think of the older generation of quarterbacks, I feel like Tom Brady doesn't really get lumped into those guys anymore because Brady played with all the young guys, as well as there goes Joe Flacco finding Amari Cooper for the touchdown, putting the Browns up 14-0 here in Buffalo. But back to my point about Tom Brady again, I feel like Brady doesn't get lumped into these guys, but you think of, I wouldn't say Aaron Rodgers as well, he's still playing, but I would say Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Joe Flacco, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, these sort of guys. That's the generation that Joe Flacco has played with before, and, he's like Tom and like Aaron Rodgers, he is still around as well. And Flacco, again, the guy's gone to Peyton's place in Denver, and he's gone to Tom Brady's house in Foxborough, and he's beat both of them in the past in the playoffs to get into the Super Bowl. So who's to say that beating Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, potentially Patrick Mahomes, he wouldn't have to go to Miami, but also to Lamar Jackson's place in Baltimore. Who's to say he's not going to do that? And again, I think the matchup that everyone is going to want to see is Browns and Ravens. It's Flacco versus Lamar. Obviously, Lamar being picked in the first round and coming in and leading that Ravens team to the playoffs where they lost the Chargers in the first round in Lamar's rookie season. That was the last year of Flacco in Baltimore. And sure, was Flacco the greatest after he left the Ravens? No, he was actually given a starting job in Denver eventually. I believe that led to, if I'm not mistaken, that led to Drew Lock's eventual succession of that job. But there you go, Joe Flacco finding Jerome Ford in the back of the end zone. This is a clinic on the offensive side of the football by Joe Flacco against these Buffalo Bills. 21-13 in the second half. Flacco is still throwing here on a 3rd and 5, and he is going to find David Njoku. The first time we get to finally call his name, Flacco to Njoku for the first round. I think you can expect a little bit more of what we're showing you between Flacco and Njoku in real life. Right there, though, horrible read by Joe Flacco. He's gonna, sling it. that's one of the times you don't want him to sling it. It's going to end up in the arms of a Buffalo defender, and with, a quarter left in this game, the Bills just got the break they needed. Tyrell Dodson takes it to the house. Again, it was an 8-point game. The Bills, though, miss the 2-point conversion. It's 21-19. The Browns can basically end this game with a touchdown, and look at the angry run by Jerome Ford. He has got over 200 yards in this divisional game. It was a lot of Kareem Hunt last week in the wild card round, but here tonight, Jerome Ford showing why he should be the lead back in the rotation. Again, 4 minutes to go. Flacco goes play action fake on 1st and goal, looking to throw, scrambling to his right, and he will find Harrison Bryant. The backup tight end catches the touchdown, and that's almost going to put the nail in the coffin. He's going to hit the Lucy Vert. I just want to rock. Okay, and there's Amari Cooper. I don't imagine Harrison Bryant ever pulling that one off. Game's over here. Browns somehow get the ball back at the goal line. Flacco will find Amari Cooper, and we will send the Buffalo Bills packing. Last year, it was Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals going to Buffalo and putting away the Bills. This year, it will be a different AFC North team. And at the beginning of the season, did anyone imagine that Joe Flacco would be in a playoff position? No. And the other part, him on the Cleveland Browns. Anyways, this is the game that you've been waiting for. Browns, Ravens, M&T Bank. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Joe Flacco returning to the same exact spot where he didn't win the Super Bowl in Baltimore, he won in New Orleans, but that's besides the point. He won the Super Bowl with the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, obviously Flacco's replacement here in Baltimore. Again, you could not ask for a better game than this. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. You'll see if we can win this game. It's not a prediction on the other side. I just wanted to have some fun with the Super Bowl if we get there. Now, in the AFC, I legitimately think this is how this is going to go. I'll talk about it in a second, but 3rd and 19 for Joe Flacco, airing that thing out from his own 11-yard line, and Flacco is going to be incomplete to Amari Cooper. But genuinely, yeah, I do think the Chiefs are going to choke at home. I don't think that Chiefs team is good. They are shells of their former selves. The Taylor Swift hype is getting to them, and I think, okay, if there was one game, though, they were going to win, it's going to be the Ice Bowl, the freeze-off in Miami, as Jerome Ford's going to fumble. So maybe tonight's a Kareem Hunt night for the Cleveland Browns. Kyle Hamilton, the former Notre Dame safety, is going to pick up that fumble. So the Ravens will respond with a Justin Tucker field goal, putting them up 3-0, but Joe Flacco will find Amari Cooper over the top. Big gain into Baltimore territory, down to the 37-yard line. So again, if there was a game the Chiefs are going to win, it's going to be this one against the Dolphins. However, I think they get got in the next round anyway. I think if they do win, then they'd match up against the Bills. I think the Bills would beat them in Buffalo. So I don't think the Chiefs are the team that they've been. I think the Dolphins, though, are going to pull off a miracle upset in Kansas City as Kareem Hunt's going to rush in for the touchdown. I don't think Hunt necessarily got in right there, but they're going to give him the touchdown. So 6 to the Browns will be 7-3. A defensive battle here in the rain in Baltimore so far for this one. Jerome Ford going to break off a pretty nice run down to midfield. 4-point lead for the Browns, trying to extend that one before the end of the half. 4th and 3, Flacco looking to his left. He will find the former New York Jet. They were teammates, of course, in East Rutherford. Flacco to Elijah Moore for the first down to the 26-yard line. But everything else, I think the Steelers, obviously, shout out to them for making the playoffs again. Is Njoku going to make that nice grab? I think they do lose, though, to Buffalo. And I think regardless, I think the Ravens will find a way to the championship game if they can stay out of playing the Cleveland Browns. Jokes aside, with Joe Flacco being elite for this video or whatnot, is Dustin Hopkins going to nail that field goal? I genuinely think the Browns have a very good chance to win the Super Bowl. I am very high on this Browns team. They, for me personally, are legitimately my favorites to win the Super Bowl right now. I think the Browns are going to get it done. And I know it's a crazy statement to make, but I think the Browns are that good. Now, when we get to the NFC portion of this video, if we can win the game here on 4th and 1, Flacco looking to throw, dropping back, he will find Amari Cooper over the middle. Big first down yet again for the Cleveland Browns. Once we get to the NFC part, if we get there again, it's going to be a little bit of satire. I'll go over my NFC predictions in a second. Here is Flacco going to find Elijah Moore for the first down to the 4-yard line. Gain of 15 right there for the Cleveland Browns, looking to go up by 14 points. Flacco going to give to Jerome Ford, and Ford is in there. Jadeveon Clowney can't keep him out of the end zone. It will be a touchdown for Jerome Ford. 14-point lead for Cleveland with 3 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. So should be all well, but instead, Flacco going to just miss the Tennessee product, and Cedric Tillman, he's going to throw an interception right in the arms of that Baltimore secondary. But the Ravens offense has been just completely shut out tonight. 17-3 is still your score as Jerome Ford gets one deep into Baltimore territory yet again. And that's another thing with the Browns team. It's not the offense. The defense is what's exceptional for this squad. We will see if Denzel Ward will play tomorrow in Houston, but still, regardless of that, Myles Garrett, I mean, all of these guys in this defense are very skilled, and now you get a guy in Joe Flacco who honestly has been better than Deshaun Watson. I know Watson actually did win games for them, but in big games, other than that one Baltimore game, in big games like the one on Monday night against the Steelers, Deshaun Watson was not able to win them that game. Joe Flacco is going to be able to win this Browns team's games. As soon as I say that, he's going to throw a pick, but still up by 14 with a quarter left to go. It's still looking good for the Browns. Flacco's going to win them games. The Ravens will score at 17-10, but Flacco will find Cedric Tillman. Not going to miss him right there. The former Tennessee Volunteer used to catch passes from Hendon Hooker. Now he gets them from Joe Flacco. And now Kareem Hunt to the outside trying to ice this game. There goes Hunt all the way down to the 3, 1st and goal. Flacco looking to his left. He's got David Njoku. They're going to say he's in. They're going to say he secured the catch. And the Cleveland Browns are going to be heading to their first ever Super Bowl, led by Joe Flacco. The Browns will win by 6 by a score of 23-17. There it is right there. Flacco and Jackson. But on to the Super Bowl. And, you know, we're going to get a little bit funny here. It's the Lions. Wouldn't this be the craziest thing imaginable? I'll be honest with you. I think the Lions are going to lose the Rams this week. But I just did it for, you know, the sake of comedic relief. Lions, Browns, Super Bowl. Just imagine the sights. Detroit and Cleveland finally get into the big one. And it's Jared Goff, who, again, not Matthew Stafford. And imagine this, again, Jared Goff gets to the Super Bowl. He beats Matthew Stafford on his way to win the Super Bowl, or at least get to the Super Bowl. And he takes Detroit there, you know, beating the guy that was supposed to be, you know, the franchise guy for Detroit. I mean, he was. But then Stafford, of course, goes to LA and wins the Super Bowl. And now Jared Goff gets his chance in his second Super Bowl, obviously unsuccessful in his first attempt at Super Bowl 53 against the New England Patriots. And for the Browns, again, it's Joe Flacco. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that. So the Lions and Browns, two teams who have never made the Super Bowl. If my memory serves me right, I believe there's only 4 teams that haven't made a Super Bowl at this point. It is these 2 squads. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it is the Houston Texans, as Harrison Bryant is going to get in the end zone right there at fullback, but still the Browns will score. Joe Flacco getting in on the celebration right there. But yeah, I mean, 3 of these squads have a chance to make their first Super Bowl this year. The Jaguars obviously missed the dance this year because of their historic collapse in the second half of the season, and, you know, someone needs to get Trevor Lawrence some help out there in Duval County. But yeah, the Browns and Lions, I mean, someone's got to win, right? Jerome Ford going to break off a run right there for the first down. I think this Lions team is good. I just ultimately think that they are going to lose to Matthew Stafford and the Rams. I mean, the Rams are playing really good football right now. Watch some Rams games as Joe Flacco is going to take flight and pick up 10 yards on the ground. He will still be short of the first down marker. 2nd and inches to try to pick it up. Flacco will hand it off to Jerome Ford, and Ford has got the first down and a lot more. The Rams are playing good football. The Los Angeles Rams are playing really good football right now. Of course, they found Puka Nacua from Brigham Young. You know, of course, they still got Cooper Kupp. That's a very good football team. As Joe Flacco is going to run for a touchdown, I have seen it all. Joe Flacco with a rushing touchdown at 39 years of age in the Super Bowl as a member of the Cleveland Browns against the Detroit Lions. Yeah, insane stuff. The Lions, though, will score a touchdown, making it 14-7, but Flacco is going to find a wide open Amari Cooper. Cooper for way more than the first down. He gets it all the way into Detroit territory, down to the 18-yard line. 3rd and 10, however, though, for the Browns. Flacco on a screen looking for Jerome Ford. Ford going to bounce off one of his own guys. Ford still finds the first down. The Lions have no answers right now to this Cleveland offense. 1st and goal, Flacco, handoff Ford. Ford trying to get through, and Aiden Hutchinson just going to completely rip it away from him mid-run. But the funny thing is, the Browns get a safety out of that. So it's 16-7, and look who Joe Flacco found. Marquise Goodwin over the top. You don't see Goodwin often for the Browns, but he's still got that speed. Flacco finds Goodwin for the score A touchdown for the Cleveland Browns, 23-7 will now be the score. Still technically a 2-score game, but still a 16-point lead for Cleveland. As we go into the second half, the Lions finish off the second quarter with a field goal, and that's just a bad ball by Flacco. Throwing it in double coverage, trying to find Amari Cooper. It's going to be picked off by Joseph. And again, 13-point game for the Lions, trying to get closer. They will. They make it a 6-point game with a touchdown. So pressure back on the Browns. Got to pick up this first down, and Flacco just going to miss Amari Cooper. For reference, Madden still has Flacco as a 71 overall, and that hurts because now we're all of a sudden in the fourth quarter. This is a 24-23 game, but look who Joe Flacco found again. The Browns were down, but just for a split second. Flacco finds Marquise Goodwin. I mean, he burns the Lions secondary yet again. Trying to make it a 7-point game are the Browns. Flacco feeds Jerome Ford, but Ford can't get in. So the door is left open for the Lions with 8 to go, and they will take the lead. They'll miss the extra point of the 2-point conversion to go up by 3, but they're up by 1. And unfortunately, Flacco just misses. I think that was Elijah Moore, Cedric Tillman. Or was it Goodwin? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It was Goodwin. You can tell because he's running so fast to try to chase the guy down. Yeah, the Detroit Lions and Cameron Sutton are going to go up by 8 points. So luckily their failed 2-point conversion keeps us alive, but now you need a legacy drive out of Joe Flacco here with 4 minutes to go, down by 8. You need the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. That's a good start. Flacco on the slant route is going to find Elijah Moore. 3rd and 3, Flacco looking to throw in the pocket, almost picked off. It'll be a 53-yard field goal for Dustin Hopkins. They have all 3 timeouts. Instead, they go for it. Flacco looking to his left. He finds Marquise Goodwin. First down, just barely. Keeping the Browns Super Bowl hopes alive. 1st and 10, Joe Flacco in the pocket. He gets dropped. That's how we'll go into the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 18 for Flacco. Does he have a miracle left in him? Flacco finds Amari Cooper in between the zone. Cooper down to the 16-yard line. Again, the Browns need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie this game and send it into overtime. Flacco will find Njoku. David Njoku's in. Yes, he is. Njoku's into the end zone. It's all going to come down to this 2-point conversion. Flacco from the gun looks to throw. It's off. Oh my goodness. Jerome Ford can't catch it. Reminiscent of the Colts trying to win the AFC South. Instead, though, the defense gets a stop. They force a 3-and-out with all 3 timeouts. And actually, they still have 1 timeout because the Lions tried to throw the football. So the Browns are still alive. 3rd and inches. Flacco airs out. Marquise Goodwin. Oh, he overthrows him. Here's your game from the 46-yard line. 4th and inches, 30 seconds to go. Flacco needs a first down at the very least. He finds Jerome Ford down the sidelines. Hold on. Ford gets into the flats, and now it's a 54-yard field goal for Dustin Hopkins. 25 seconds to go. The Browns have a timeout, so they can use it, and that's the perfect play right there. Texas route to Ford to the 22-yard line. They're going to milk this clock, and Dustin Hopkins is going to attempt a 39-yard field goal to bring a championship back to Cleveland. PJ Walker on the hold. It's up, and it's good. Dustin Hopkins wins the Super Bowl for the Cleveland Browns. They are going to win it in Las Vegas, Nevada. They defeat the Detroit Lions by a score of 38-37. The game-winning field goal and the Cinderella run is capped off with a 1-point win in the Super Bowl. Joe Flacco defeats Jared Goff. It will be Goff's 2nd loss in the Super Bowl, and there he is, PJ Walker of all people, hoisting up Joe Flacco. He is a Cleveland legend forever. He is bigger in Cleveland than LeBron James ever was. Okay, just kidding. He's not Johnny Manziel, but the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl, and there it is, Joe Flacco hoisting up his 2nd Lombardi. So folks, thank you for watching this video here with Joe Flacco's run with the Cleveland Browns in the postseason. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like for this video if you did enjoy. Thank you folks, thank you for watching. And Mamba forever.